congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much.
I wasn't prepared for the kind of emotional journey that I went on
that's
for this
cool.
one. Was this a challenge to kind of go back for a second time for you for the third movie and to kind of complete the series?
You know, for me, it was an opportunity because I felt like, you know, jumping into Dawn, I had a lot of things I wanted to try, but finishing it, I felt like, God, I feel like there's something more we can do that goes further. And it was exciting to think about taking Caesar's arc and pushing him to a place that he'd never been to tell an even more emotional story. So I really had a great time.
Was it? I can guess for a third movie, it's tempting to go much bigger, but this one it felt a little bit smaller in a strange way. Was that something you wanted to do from the outset?
You know, it's interesting. What I was trying to do is, you know, because it's a war movie, but war movie only really connects with you if you connect to the characters. So in a certain way it was larger in terms of the landscape. The vistas, we shot it in 65mm, and there are battle scenes, but in the foreground is what really matters, which is Caesar and the apes and his relationships to the other actors. You know, Woody Harrelson comes in, and it's a really exciting sort of rapport that those actors have. It's kind of like a battle of wills, like in Bridge on the River Kwai between those two. And so I wanted it to be epic, but also not lose the intimacy, which I think is the core of what these films have been.
Was this a more technically challenging movie than the first one, or was it easier going back in for a second time?
You know, for me, it was easier because I knew what to expect. And so we pushed things much further, though. See, this is an ape point of view movie, so there are far more ape shots, and it's a totally ape perspective. There's literally no scenes that don't have apes, and that was not true of Dawn. So we pushed the technology and our limits and everything further than we had before.
It seems to be, there's a couple of sequences where, as you say, there's so many apes. How many of those are CGI and how many of them are kind of real actors?
Well, all of the apes are performed by a performer, but not all necessarily on the set. So when you go, you can only really shoot with the technology about 15 at once. So I would have some bodies around to sort of indicate where clusters of apes would be. So after we shot the main performances, we would go to what's called the volume, and I would flesh out the rest of the performances with the actors, and they would play, like someone like Terry Notary. He comes in, he not only does he play Rocket, not only does he get everybody to move like simians, but he also plays a huge number, and so do all of our apes. They play a lot of different characters, and we flesh out. So we have 1,000 apes, we have 1,000 different performances.
Just finally, I wanted to ask you about Batman. You go from one big franchise to another. I'm sure everyone's massively excited. How far into the process are you, and are you excited for people to see it?
I'm incredibly excited, and I can only say I'm just at the very, very beginning. Because literally, this movie, it's crazy how, you know, as the shots come in, you're only finishing the movie. I finished the movie and finally got to see it for myself the first time about 8 days ago. So, and we're just doing this now, so I haven't even had a chance to start, but I'm very excited.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.